Great to finish 2010 15-0. I told our players they can be very proud of how they've gone about their work and the fact that we had, and I know we didn't have 12,414, but we had 12,414 tickets out, and we had for a New Year's Eve 1 o'clock game, we had a wonderful crowd that enjoyed themselves. And I think that's what's happened with our team. This has been an event, a fun event to go to. They appreciate effort and teamwork, and everybody likes to see some spectacular plays, and we have the ability to give a few of those in the course of a 40-minute game. So this was a good way for us to finish 2010, and now things will get a whole lot harder as we move into league play, and we're going to have to continue to get better. And that's what we hope to do. I do think that Billy White will be back ready to go 100% at TCU. I talked to Dr. Chris Bear. He told me it's just a garden variety ankle sprain, not the high ankle sprain. So hopefully he'll be back ready to go tomorrow for practice and ready to go on Wednesday. So this was a good way to finish the non-conference slate of the season.
Conscious of you, are you of trying to get your bench into a game like this when you may not have a lot of opportunities?
Very much that way. We wanted to make sure we didn't wait till 5 minutes to go in the game before we substituted. So we tried to get everybody in who was going to play in the first half and get them some significant minutes in both halves, and they did that. And I know they appreciated it, as did their families, and this will wear well for us if and when we need them as we move into league play. But for several of them, it was most minutes they played all season.
Is that a morale thing or a tactical thing on your part, knowing that you may need them for key minutes at some point, but probably not a lot?
I think as much as anything, it's just to tell them we appreciate how hard you're working, and so often you don't get rewarded when 12,000 people are watching. You get to do it when nobody's watching, and so we want you to compete, and if you play hard and practice hard, opportunities eventually will get there. And so we had an opportunity for them, and I know that they felt good about getting in there for double-digit minutes.
Talk about this being like the event to be at. Now with the Chargers basically done, I mean, after Sunday, you guys are going to be the attraction, stadium sports. I mean, do you embrace that? You could say pressure. I mean, do you think the guys are embracing that?
They love having all the folks come in and watch them play, and everybody does. I wish desperately the Chargers were going to be playing to the Super Bowl. So we're pleased that there's an appreciation for what we've done. We're well aware that back-to-back losses could get the call-ins on the radio show talking about everything wrong with our team. So we got to not worry about anything other than ourselves and what we as coaches try to help them with areas where we feel we got to get better at. But it's fun to have people talking about San Diego State basketball. I made reference to this earlier. I've gone to these local tournaments for 12 years and saw more Aztec gear at the holiday high school events than I have ever, and I like that.
Do you ever remember a game where you had more than 3 times as many rebounds as the other team?
No, I don't. But I know when you shoot 21 out of 24 and a half, there are not going to be very many defensive rebounds for them to get. And we put as one of our 4 keys on the board, we wanted to limit them to 8 or fewer offensive rebounds. So I don't know what they got. How many they get? 4. So 4 offensive rebounds, only 3 defense to get in the second half. So they're not very many rebounds to be had. Is that phone turned off now? Great.
Coach, when you're scheduling, you've probably been on both sides. Some teams, their game before conference will schedule a tough road game to get themselves sort of acclimated to that atmosphere. Some teams will want an easier game. What's your philosophy on this last game before conference?
In a perfect world, you play somebody that you know you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and get a little dirty. Well documented. We've had a difficult time filling our final schedule for this year. So this is what we had to. What we did. This is how we finalized it. This was the last game that we got on the docket, and I think the point earlier. This was good for camaraderie. This was good for 8 through 12. This was good for our team. So, I think you got to say, okay, here's what we've got. Now how can we make it be good for us? And I do think we did that. We talked before about giving them time off. Gave them 5 days off, which is the most I've ever given a team off. From Vegas until the 28th. We needed that. I think our kids appreciated that, and they came back with that type of bounce in their step. So, it's not a perfect roadmap and not a perfect world, but I do feel as if what we've done, how we've done it, has benefited us.
As a result, do you feel as if you need to have a pretty tough scrimmage in your squad between now and TCU?
We're practicing tomorrow, 10:30. So we will not have a true day off from the 28th until we return home from Utah. So we'll temper what we do and when we do it and how we do it. But we've tried, Tim, to make every practice competitive. And we don't. When we came back on the 28th, we had a 20-minute scrimmage. Since then, we do situational stuff where there's a penalty for losing. So we try to compete in everything we've done, and we have to do that. We can't just come out and practice without having some consequences for how we practice, and that's what we're trying to do.
You had some guys play some minutes today who your fans are probably not all that familiar with. Saw some glimpses of maybe things we're going to see next year. Anybody particularly please you among the 8 through 12 guys?
Both of the Franklin fellas, no relation, have worked very hard, haven't gotten a lot of minutes. Jamal Franklin brings great energy and effort all the time. He really does. He needs to have game experience where he can now get acclimated to playing games. LeBradford is a point guard that's used to having the ball in his hands all the time, and he's got to continue to grow on being able to give it up quickly and make plays, make the easy plays and those sort of things. And so I like both of them. Alec Williams, I told Alec he had practiced so well and not been rewarded for it. So it was nice to see him get some opportunity to play. He'd really had practiced well. And Mehdi is as great a player as I've ever had the chance to coach in terms of a person. So it was good to see him get minutes when he hadn't gotten very many of late. So I don't know that I could say, boy, I really liked what he did. I thought all of them were pretty good.
Rayhan you talked about confidence, and he may have been struggling with it a little. He obviously took on that today and got it back going.
Rayhan went to Torrey Pines tournament and had everybody in there tell him how great he was, and that helped his confidence. He's a scorer. He should never, ever be hesitant to shoot an open shot. He's too good a shooter.
Steve, if you could take a step back and 15 and 0, do you feel like you're playing at that level? Is this the kind of role you would expect?
I think we're playing good basketball. If we had played 15 straight league games, we wouldn't be 15-0 the way we're playing. So if we're going to go undefeated in the league, we're going to have to play better. And I don't know if anybody's gone undefeated in the league. And probably no one will. But to win in this league and not to have back-to-back-to-back losses, we're going to have to continue to get better. But I do like the fact that against good teams, in hard venues, we've found ways to win. We've had stretches and lots of games where we played really, really good basketball. And I think we have the athleticism and experience to be very, very difficult for anybody that we play. But, not very many. I don't know that anybody at the end of the day will be undefeated, and ourselves included, but right now we're one of a handful of teams that still are.
What would be your biggest concern at this point other than the
What I told the team, the three things that will win us a championship: we've got to guard hard and smart, got to rebound the ball better, especially at the defensive end. We have 160. Going into today, we've given up 160 offensive rebounds, which is too many in 14 games. Turnovers, possessions, we won't have as many possessions average in league play. We've got 160 turnovers right now going into today's game. So those were the three areas I told our team. If we're going to be really good, we got to get better with how we guard. We must rebound the ball better at the defensive end, and we cannot turn the ball over. And I used the example with our team. I said, who's the best team in pro football? And they said New England. They've gone 7 games without a turnover. 7 games without a turnover. I said, that wins. And we're going to have probably 7-8% fewer possessions in league play that we've had now. So we got to not turn the ball over. We got to be under. We got to be 10 or under with turnovers. Not up there 12, 13. We got to get under 10 with our turnovers. And we got to hold our opponents to 6, 7, 8, 9 offensive rebounds. And so that's what I told them. And we have to get better in those areas.
You didn't mention free throw shooting, which didn't kind of somewhere there. Think you're overcoming that?
Yes, I do. Our free throw shooting is better. And when Malcolm shoots free throws well, he gets more than anybody on the team. It feels better, and we're shooting free throws better lately. We're slowly creeping up a little bit with that area.
Anything else for Coach?
What is it about this team that you thought you could give them 12 days off and you haven't been able to do that?
Well, we gave him 5 days off. We needed it. The timing was good. We didn't play again until the 31st, so I felt like it would be more important than coming back and having an extra practice or two. So I was going to do that whether we won 2 games in Vegas or lost 2 games in Vegas. We had already made that determination.